today's the first talk, I didn't choose this topic by chance. First of all, as a Flutter developer, I'm really super honored to mention that Flutter remains the leader in cross-platform development in 2024. I remember comments, articles at the start of this year that Flutter died, etc. No, we grow up more and more. And it continues to empower developers to create stunning apps effortlessly across platforms. And we back to Flutter a little bit later. Uh, Secondly, this year has been a true evolution in the popularity of UI. It's really never we hear so a lot about AI. Everywhere we look, tech conferences, articles, discussions, YouTube shorts, we hear about AI. It's a game changer for our industry. This year at Google alone, we've seen numerous conferences, each with keynotes focused on AI advancement. From the debut of powerful new models like Gemini and Gemma to hands-on sessions about integrating AI, it's clear that AI is shaping the future of technology. So today's talk is not just a deep dive into Flutter meets AI, but also an opportunity to summarize what has been an extraordinary this year in tech. So let's explore how we can seamlessly integrate AI using tools like Vertex AI and master techniques like prompt design to make our app smarter and more impactful. If you skip this year Google input output, please search and watch summarization. And this year, Google introduced a family of multimodal large language model programs and products, including Gemini, that represent the culmination of artificial intelligence research. Is through the presented slide provides a detailed overview of Google's AI timeline. It highlights the most important developments in the rise of AI, culminating in the development of Gemini, a multimodal AI model. And first of all, let's start with a quick introduction for Flutter, because for those who don't know, Flutter is it's a cool tool and a cross-platform UI toolkit that allows you to write your app once and deploy to 6 platforms, including iOS, Android, Web, macOS, desktop, and Linux. And Flutter is open source. It's really open source framework by Google for building beautiful, natively compiled multi-platform applications from a single code base. And I'd like to break down those reasons along with explanation of just-in-time, ahead of time, null safety, and Flutter's familiar syntax, because just these things make it so crazy, impressive tool. Flutter use both just-in-time and ahead-of-time compilation to optimize performance. What does it mean? Just-in-time used during development with Flutter's hot reload feature. Later, we will talk about it a little. Code is compiled on the fly. Can you imagine? Really, code is compiled on the fly, allowing for quick updates and iterations. It doesn't mean that when you hot reload, it takes few minutes. No, just few seconds, and ahead of time. Used when building a release version of your app. Code is compiled into native machine code before runtime, resulting in faster startup times and better performance. And of course, Dart, the language used for Flutter. And it has amazing feature called sound null safety. Exactly this feature helps prevent null pointer exceptions. It's a common type of an error in programming by ensuring that variables cannot. So it means that never can be null unless explicitly declares as nullable. Dart makes your code more reliable and less prone to charges. Dart syntax is similar to languages like Java, C Sharp, JavaScript, making it relatively easy to learn for developers with experience in those languages. Before I switched to Flutter, I was familiar with JavaScript. I was React developer, so that's why I switched to Flutter immediately. So this reduces the learning curve and allows developers to quickly become productive with Flutter. And when you open Flutter documentation, you can even find guys super kind and they left. So if you, for example, JavaScript developer, you can visit this page and became familiar with Flutter. And what I'd like to summarize, so Flutter's combination of fast development, expressive, real expressive UI, native performance, cross-platform consistency, and a supportive community has contributed to its rapid rise in popularity. And of course, features like just-in-time and ahead-of-time compilation, sound null safety, and familiar syntax further enhance its appeal to developers. And of course, unique features matter a lot. So, one of the things that make Flutter development so incredibly, of course, is feature. To understand it quickly, if you're not familiar with it, imagine you're tweaking the UI of your app, trying to get the spacing just right. In traditional development, you'd have to make the code change, recompile the entire app, and then relaunch it to see the effect. Tedious, right? With Flutter's hot reload, you simply save your code. The changes appear instantly in the running app without losing the app current state. It's true. If you do this, you don't lose any your current state. This means you can experiment, iterate, and fine tune your UI in real time, making development a breeze. Uh, and if you wonder how it works, okay, Flutter injects the updated source code files into the running Dart virtual machine. This virtual machine updates the classes with a new version of fields and functions, and the Flutter framework automatically rebuilds the widget tree. This allows you to quickly see the results on your changes without restarting the app or losing its state. So it's really just few seconds and you see your result. And Flutter's popularity is really skyrocketing. The number of developers using Flutter is rapidly growing with thousands joining community every day. Believe me, it's true, it's statistic. Over 1 million apps created using this amazing tool. This growth means a richer ecosystem, more packages and plugins, and a larger pool of talent to collaborate with. Over 25,000 Flutter and Dart packages available. And Flutter is the third largest open source contributor on GitHub. It's an exciting time to be part of our amazing community. Uh, and Flutter is expanding beyond mobile to support web and desktop application. Google regularly releases updates to improve performance and introduce new features. Also, Flutter's flexibility and cost efficiency make it attractive to a wide range of organizations. It's a pity I can't share this experience, but at my last company I take part in adapting, we built a web application for government of Czech Republic using web part of Flutter. So, okay, and why Flutter and AI are a perfect match? Firstly, Flutter's efficiency pairs perfectly with AI's potential. The modularity of Flutter apps allows you to add AI-driven features without rebuilding your entire code base. Moreover, the Flutter community and Google support ensure that you have access to latest tools and best practices for using AI. And if you join Flutter YouTube channel, you'll see time by time notification about new widgets, new features from Flutter community, updates every time. So you always will get new features. And next, we'll look at how to implement this concept practically. First of all, we'll explore Vertex AI and Firebase and see how these tools can be used to bring AI features to your Flutter apps with minimal effort. So, firstly, let me introduce you Vertex AI. But before, I'd like to mention that one of the key players in this evolution at 2024 is, of course, Vertex AI, which now offers more powerful pre-trained models and easy integration capabilities for developers. When I did this screenshot tonight, uh, from my screenshot, you can see that for now you can find pre-trained 101 models. It's really pre-trained, so you don't need to have machine learning skills because Vertex AI is a machine learning platform on Google Cloud Platform with a variety of generative AI foundation models that are accessible throughout an API. This is a platform for AI development and deployment. So what does it mean? It allows developers to use pre-trained models like Gemini or train custom models with minimal effort. And it's true, you can use ready or even prepare your own and pre-train. And if you wonder about key capabilities of Vertex AI, so if of course pre-trained models which are ready to use, skilled programmers did this for you. You don't need to worry about this. You just need to scroll and choose any pre-trained model you like. Also, natural language platform and visual models, including generative capabilities. After machine learning means automatically builds and deploys machine learning models. From position of custom training, it means that fine-tune models for specific business needs. So even for business, you don't need to pay something. You can to use ready one. And Vertex AI simplifies the integration of generative AI into application. What does it mean? It provides APIs and SDKs for various generative tasks, including text generation, summarization, image generation. And of course, another breakthrough this year is Gemini models. It was big presentation and these have redefined what's possible with multimodal artificial intelligence, uh, handling text, images, videos seamlessly in one model. So that's why this year was big presentation, Gemini. Gemini models are built from the ground up for multimodality, seamlessly combining and understanding text, code, images, audio, and video. The Gemini API lets you send multimodal prompts to the Gemini model. And now let's shift our focus to Gemini models, one of the Google's groundbreaking advancement in AI. These models represent a leap forward in machine learning capabilities. So, what makes Gemini unique? Unlike traditional models, Gemini excels at understanding the context of conversations and interaction. This means it can generate more relevant, Human-like responses and adapt to a wider range of scenarios, making it perfect for dynamic users experience. Of course, I think that now you are reminded about ChatGPT. Of course, it's a good large language model also. But I'm fan of Gemini. All this year I use just it. Gemini has a coding part. If you use Gemini Advanced, you can have brainstorm, coding partner, etc. It's not horrible than ChatGPT. Gemini isn't limited to processing just one type of input. It can handle text, images, and even videos. So this opens up exciting possibilities for apps that require diverse data types. For instance, you could build an app that analyzes both written feedback and accompanying images to provide comprehensive insights. So, how does this apply to Flutter developers? Gemini's unique capabilities make it a natural fit for AI-driven apps. And let me share a few examples. Imagine a chatbot in your app that not only responds to text queries, but also analyze images or videos sent by user. For example, a chatbot in an educational app could provide explanations for a text-based query and analyze a user-uploaded diagram for additional insights. This year, I took part in DevFest hackathon, and I built STEM application. I used Gemini AI on that application. And here, exactly, I built a few even agents which will help young women to study mathematics, algorithm, data structure, and even I left here a CV generator agent. So, and for example, you can build a search feature. It's really true that not only retrieves results based on keywords, but also understands the user's intent and provides contextually relevant suggestions. And now that we covered the potential of Gemini, let's explore how you can integrate this powerful AI tool into your Flutter AI with minimal effort, but with small notifications. The Gemini today are four sizes. Ultra Pro, Flash, and Nano, and you can choose one of these Gemini size in your project in future. And now I'd like to stop a little at Vertex AI. Because Vertex AI now supports advanced machine learning capabilities, making it easier for developers to customize models without needing deep expertise in machine learning. And the Gemini models bring a new level on contextual understanding and, of course, multimodal processing. What does it mean? That means that you can now build apps that analyze both text, images in a unified way, offering richer user experience. So, what is the trend? One major shift is the integration of AI into everyday apps, not just for big enterprises, but also for individual developers and small teams. Artificial intelligence is no longer something like buzzwords. No, it's becoming a standard feature from chatbots to image analysis. Users now expect apps to offer intelligent, context-aware features. What does it mean for developers? This opens up opportunities for us as developers to innovate and stand out in a crowded app markets. And why use Vertex AI? So, why choose Vertex AI? It Not so easy question, but it lowers the barriers to entry for AI development. By providing scalable, easy to use tools, it allows developers like us to focus exactly on innovation rather than complexities of AI infrastructure. Exactly, Vertex AI integrates seamlessly with other Google Cloud services, making it a one-stop solution for all AI needs. And let's talk about why this matters for you. First, growing user expectation. Users today are accustomed to apps that understand their needs, and it's true because it's evolution. This year, really evolution in AI area. And of course, provide smart, personalized interaction. If your app doesn't have these capabilities, it might fall behind. And secondly, integrating AI gives you a competitive advantage. Adding features like real-time analysis, recommendations, or visual search not only improves user experience, but also increases the values of your apps. And of course, next we'll see how to integrate all these amazing features into Flutter apps using Firebase as a bridge. This is where we'll connect the concept we've discussed so far with appropriate implementation. So, of course, let's learn how to enhance your Flutter app with AI-driven features using Vertex AI. And so here's what we'll use for this session. First of all, Flutter. You need to install it. You need to install Flutter, create your first Flutter app. If you don't want to install it, it's not a problem. You can open on Google, you can search on Google IDX platform, and here you'll find button Flutter. So it will be your first Flutter application. Next, what we need is, of course, Firebase. Firebase will provide support, including authentication uh, and hosting for our apps AI features. Firebase is a Google's mobile application development platform that helps you build, improve, and grow your app. It's easy to use. Firebase has a lot of tutorials, very super descriptive documentation. And of course, the Vertex AI. Vertex AI Gemini API gives you access to the latest generative AI models from Google, the Gemini models. If you need to call the Vertex AI Gemini API directly from your mobile or web app rather than server side, you can use the Vertex AI in Firebase SDK. So this client SDK are built specifically for use with mobile and web apps, offering security options against unauthorized clients as well as integration with other Firebase services. So with this client SDK, you can add AI personalization to your app, build an AI chat experience, create AI-powered optimization and automation, and much more. So, and of course, first of all, what you need is open Firebase console and sign in here. And next you'll see a screen with welcome to Firebase, and you need to click button get started with Firebase project. And of course, you keep enabling Google Analytics for simplicity during this demo because it's not necessary as a develop production. So as on screenshot, you can switch this button. And next, create project. After click button continue, it will take Few time depend of your hard- hardware, sometimes few seconds, sometimes few minutes. And in the Firebase you need to go exactly to the build with Gemini page. So the same as I left a screenshot, you need to click this button. Next step, you need to click Vertex AI and Firebase card to launch a workflow that helps you complete the following tasks. Because you need upgrade your project to use the pay-as-you-go Blaze pricing plan. Exactly this button and enable the required APIs in your project. So the same as on screenshot, when you click get started, you'll be able to see a page where you can select or create a cloud billing account to upgrade to the pay-as-you-go Blaze plan. Exactly this plan you need to choose. Of course, and later, so enable the required APIs in your project. And next, the same as on screenshot. Next, if you are not familiar with adding this feature to your Flutter app, you can click this icon Flutter, and this button will open screen with step-by-step instruction on how to add Firebase to your Flutter app. I told you that it's super descriptive documentation. It's really each step-by-step Firebase add uh, tutorials and documentation how to add this on that feature. At the next screen, so this button will open screen with step-by-step instruction on how to add Firebase to your Flutter application. So just click button next, and you need install the Flutterfy CLI by running the following command from any directory. So just open any directory and run this dart pub global activate Flutterfy CLI. And of course, configure your app to use Firebase. So use the Flutterfy CLI to configure your Flutter app to connect to Firebase. And of course, from your Flutter project directory, run this command to start the app configuration workflow. And if you wonder what does this Flutterfy config workflow do, so is the Flutterfy config workflow does the following. Ask you to select the platform, iOS, Android, web. And here at your terminal, you will see notification how to choose this on those platform. It's not a problem if you use all of them. So this platform supported in your Flutter app. And for each selected platform, the Flutterfy creates a new Firebase app in your Firebase project. And be careful because later here will be added your API key. If you want to push these changes into your GitHub or share in open source, so be careful with API keys because they will be added automatically on each folders. And for example, when I push changes into open source, I always delete and left a comment instead of my API key that here will be your unique API key. And on the next step, when you run previous command, on the next step will be question, which application ID should you use? And for example, in my example, I use this name of application because it's a test project. I don't have other for production name. So where you can find it pre-compiled in Android folder. On Android, you need to open up. Inside app folder, you need to find build Gradle file, and inside build Gradle file, you need to find line and inside Android namespace, and here exactly name of your application which you need to type. And be careful, it's sensitive to types. And when you run this command, will generate automatically next file, Firebase options.dart, and this file will be with error, and it's okay, it's normal, you don't need to search about this error, it's after auto-compiled file with error. And next you need to run a command which auto fix it. So when you you need to write command Flutter pub add Firebase core and Flutter pub add Firebase Vertex AI. So when you add packages Firebase core and Firebase Vertex AI, these two packages fix this error. And of course, super important that now you need to add all these extensions into your main.dart file. And also, in your main.dart file, you need to add Firebase initialize up. It's critical and very important. So, it's essential in Flutter applications for ensuring the proper initialization of certain platform services and interactions before using them. Here's why it matters. First of all, Flutter communities, Flutter communicates with the underlying platform, iOS, Android throughout platform channels. Some operations such as initializing Firebase, accessing device services, or interacting with shared preferences require this communication. This method ensures that this platform binding are really before performing such operations. And initialize the binding required for using Flutter's widgets and framework-related features. Without this call, certain operations like accessing window properties might throw errors. And of course, many third-party plugins, Firebase, geolocation, rely on the platform to be properly initialized. And using these methods ensures this plugins works as expected. And if you're thinking, when do you need it? Of course, you should use in your app if, for example, initializing Firebase as in our example. And of course, if certain plugins like Firebase call, they must be initialized before rendering any widgets. And what happened without it? Of course, it will back you error during compiling application. So if you skip widget Flutter binding ensure initialized, in case where it is needed, you might encounter runtime errors like unhandled exception, binding has not yet been initialized, or plugin initialization failure, or unexpected behavior in platform-specific operations. So adding widgets Flutter binding ensures the Flutter app is properly set up to interact with platform-specific services and plugins. It's a safety network initialization and a best practice in modern Flutter apps. So, and for now, everything is done. So just click continue button at Firebase console. And for example, if you run your Flutter application, everything will be okay. And as from my example, as you can see, I installed uh, Firebase Vertex AI into my Flutter application. I prepared a widget chat screen, and exactly inside this widget, I used prompts. And at the next part, I'd like to stop at prompt design. Why so important? And at the end of this session, I will share with you useful resources. If you follow these tutorials, you can build the same application as I have. And just one thing which you need to use is prompt design, because it's a super critical important. Exactly in prompts, you can set what kind of, for example, agent it can be. You can tell, for example, I'm senior Flutter developer, give me advices according to big O notation. And it will give you other prompt that if you skip this notification. So now is important time to understand prompt design, because master the art of crafting effective inputs for AI models to optimize performance. But first of all, let's stop for a few seconds at what is prompt. From one side, all this year, all of us every day use ChatGPT, Gemini, but sometimes we don't care about what is prompts. So the question that you ask Gemini or ChatGPT are called prompts, and the answers or code completions that you receive from large language models are called response, because it's Gemini or ChatGPT is not something magic, it's large language model. And now that we've explored integrating AI into Flutter, let's focus exactly on an essential skills from design. This is the art of crafting inputs to guide AI models effectively towards desired outputs. And what I want to mention, that prompt design is about asking the right questions or providing the right instructions to AI to get meaningful and accurate response. For example, this year I read dozens of articles, and I remember one of article was here. One guy from NASA, he solved super critical, important mathematical solution, just a few prompts. It's great that he solved this, but how he did this? Of course, but by writing uh, correct questions, because a well-crafted prompt saves time and effort. It ensures that AI outputs are relevant and useful. And I want to mention that prompt design has a lot of depth and nuance to it. It's true, and we have a number of guides up on the website, and this one is very comprehensive and could be a talk on its own. And if you need Gemini to perform multiple tasks, you might find it works better when you break the prompt up into small atomic steps that are changed together. Adding context is also helpful. The model might be able to remember some facts, but they tend to work better when you give them all of the information they need to answer the question. And there are some model parameters you can tweak, things like temperature. This guide explains all of this and how they affect the model. And for example, crafting an effective prompt is both a science and art. My advice always be specific. Provide detailed instructions or questions to minimize ambiguity. Example, tell me about Flutter, bad prompt. Better prompt is explain the benefits of using Flutter cross-platform app development in under 50 words. So, second prompt will give you better output you need. And mastering prompt design is a foundation skill for elevating AI effectively. By practicing these techniques, you can ensure your apps provide accurate, user-friendly, AI-powered experiences. And for example, this is screenshot from one very good tutorial book I'll share with you a few seconds later. And what you can see here, persona, the user crafting prompt, and task create a prompt to integrate AI-driven feature into an app. Context provide relevant details to achieve optimal output for AI tasks. Format structure the prompt to ensure clarity and efficiency. And so let's break down how to craft effective prompts by following the persona, task, context, format framework, because really it's super critical important. Imagine you are a Flutter developer building an app that uses Vertex AI to enhance user onboarding. Your goal is to use AI to suggest the best onboarding flow based on user behavior. Step one, crafting the initial prompt. I'm a Flutter developer building this mobile app, for example, fitness platform, and write maximum explanation. And what you will get, this prompt is clear, specific, and sets expectations by defining the role. So your Flutter developer, task, onboarding process, and context. Fitness platform, for example. So if you follow this style, you will get maximum from your prompting, because you shouldn't forget each prompt costs a little to our ears, because each prompt warm our planet. And it's true. If you're thinking about ecosystem, you should be much productive in this doings, and care about our ears writing prompts. If you write correct prompt, you can get necessary to your result just for a few steps. And last things what I want to talk is, of course, useful resources. So you can visit at Google AI Studio prompt gallery. And prompt gallery means to interactivity showcase many of the concepts shared in this guide. In the rest, it's really a very useful tutorial. It explains you very well what does it mean prompts, how write your perfect prompt, and you can use this not only for Gemini. You can use this prompt gallery for ChatGPT also. And of course, I'd like to share with you, if you want, you can try on Google Cloud.com Vertex AI. And here you can find lab, which you can use to dive deeper into agent builders. If you want to dive deeper into Flutter and AI, you can visit next link, flutter.dev/AI, and here you can find more about exactly new tips from AI in Flutter. And this is useful resource if you wonder how to start. You can get started with Flutter Dev AI and find here Vertex AI in Firebase. Click button Get Started, and here will be super descriptive tutorial. Also, we have such list of tutorials getting started with the Gemini API and Dart and Flutter, and here step by step different tutorials, articles which you can finish and become much familiar. So I think it's time for your questions, and I'm so sorry we waited 5 minutes. And of course, if you have any questions, you can contact me anytime on LinkedIn. I'll be happy